Hey guys, this is the League of Legends World Championships. This is the first game, and I'm super excited to be casting this. I watched the stream, or part of the stream, live, so I've seen a little bit of this game, but the recording just came out, and I was just so excited about this game that I wanted to cast it. This game is epic, and you guys are going to really enjoy it. I promise you that. It is between Azubu Frost and Invictus Gaming, and let's just get right into it. So, right here we have the League of Legends official stream, which we're going to look at. We have Azubu Frost on blue versus Invictus Gaming on purple. Now, a little disclaimer from me: I don't know a ton about the Asian scene in general. Like, I have not been following the Asian scene incredibly closely, so I don't know a ton about these players or heroes. I recognize a few of them from back when they played high elo solo queue in North America. Like CloudTemplar was very active, like pre-season 1, before the Korean teams were split off. The Korean servers were split off, and yeah. So we've got Azubu Frost, Shy, CloudTemplar, RapidStar, Madlife, and Woong on blue, and PDD, Illusion, Zzitai, XiaoXiao, and Kid on purple. And without further ado, let's get further into the picks and bans. We also have the two casters here. I'm going to be talking over them because I find that they focus a little bit too heavily on spectacle and making the game exciting, and not so much on the things that we really want to know about, which is how what this means for strategy. So, you know, what the teams are thinking and what they're focusing on. So right away we can see a Yorick ban, an Anivia ban, an Evelynn ban, and this one's interesting to me, and this is where my ignorance of the scene comes in a little bit. I have not seen Lux be played in high elo play basically ever, so I'm very interested in this Lux ban. I'm gonna have to look that up later and see how often Lux has been played. Evelynn is a pretty strong solo mid. Just the being immune to wards makes her incredibly powerful at ganking and at running around. Anivia is perfect for teams that want to stall, so anyone who wants to wave clear and stall. And I guess Lux is actually sort of a similar champion, so that might be why she's banned out. Yorick, of course, is very upsetting to play against top lane, as is Jace. Jace having 58 skills is ridiculous. And Skarner's very good at being a fast jungler who can isolate carries, pull them out, and tank it up. Instalock Ezreal from Azubu Frost. Now, if there's one thing that the Asians favor, it's Ezreal. I do know that much, and everyone's playing Ezreal these days, so it does not surprise me to see him be slammed first pick. Ezreal's obviously a very strong champion right now. I personally think he's a little bit overrated, but the Asians love him, so they're going to be picking him up very highly. Vladimir pick, also very strong character, can play mid or top. We'll probably see him mid is my guess, because another thing that I know about the Asian scene is they love having dual lanes top and a solo lane bottom, and, you know, the lane switching, and Vlad is not the best 2v1 hero. But that's just a guess, so I don't know. I have watched only a very small part of this game, and I don't know whether they lane switched or not. I came in after a Jarvan pick. Now that's interesting. Jarvan's pretty sweet. He's like an awesome champion, but I don't know how strong he is. Like, his numbers are not fantastic, but one thing... No, it froze. Don't do this to me, game. Oh, come on. Oh god, it skipped by a lot. Okay, we'll fix that. Here we go. Back here, Jarvan and Nocturne. Okay, global presence from Nocturne and Jarvan. My apologies for that, guys. I don't know what Firefox is doing there, but it's screwed up. And they might snatch the Vlad. I like the Master Yi and the Renekton. I'm pretty sure that they're just goofing around with those picks. I don't think that we're going to see Yi or Renekton be picked up, although it would be cool if we saw either. And yeah, Alistar and Vladimir. Alistar, obviously, very strong champion, game-changing skills on very short cooldowns, very hard to kill, wins lanes very easily. And Vladimir, of course, one of the hardest AP carries in the game, very, very powerful late game. Combos well with Alistar and with Ezreal because of their AoE. I love seeing Leona picked up, and I hope that this gets locked in. Because Leona is just super aggressive, super fun, and combos well with Corki to make a very aggressive bot lane, or AD carry support lane, because as I said, they like lane swapping. So, players sort of goofing around there, I like that. Just looking at these lineups, there's not a whole ton of synergy on IG. They need to pick their AP to tie it together. I would like to see something with a lot of sustain and like drawn out damage so that they can sort of do over a bunch of skill uses, and also something that can beat Vlad in mid lane. So something like a Rise or a Swain or maybe a Karthus, something along those lines. Something that can just really stand in the fight and take it, while sort of Corki and Jarvan and Nocturne. Also, they really need stuff to lock people in with the Jarvan ult with. Definitely hoping to see something along those lines. Shen and a Jax picked up, so Azubu Frost have an amazing late game with Jax and Vlad. And Ezreal also outcarries Corki late game, so IG need to end this fairly quickly, I think. I am interested to see whether it's Shen or Jax in the jungle. Either are very good. I think it depends. I feel that that Shen is not so great against Jarvan. Like, Jarvan can all-in Shen pretty easily and do well against him. So it's probably going to be Shen in the jungle and Jax top, but we'll see. And as I predicted, a Swain pickup, which I didn't remember, so don't go yelling at me, from IG. So, just to run down it real quick, I'll pause here. Actually, I'll wait until they finish swapping out. But we've got, for Azubu Frost, Shy on the Jax, CloudTemplar on the Shen. In the jungle, RapidStar on the Vladimir with Ghost, so that's an interesting one, especially with the Jarvan on the other team. I would have expected Flash. Madlife playing this Alistar, and Woong playing Ezreal. Kid on the Corki for IG. XiaoXiao on Leona. Zzitai on Swain. Blah, can't talk. Illusion on that Nocturne, and PDD on Jarvan. Real quick, I think IG needs to win this game fast. I think if they do, they have, like in the early game, they have a fairly solid advantage, but they need to get some pretty strong advantages pre-Shen's 6, because once Shen hits 6, Frost will be able to turn stuff around so quickly on them that they can sort of rely on Shen's extremely powerful mid-game to get Vlad and Jax into the late game. And once it gets to around the 35-minute mark, I feel like IG has no chance, because Ezreal, Vlad, and Jax all outcarry all of their counterparts on IG. On the other hand, Jarvan is always sweet and can make mad plays, and same with Leona. Like, there's just, those champions have tools at their disposal to make incredible plays. So I am excited to see what both teams have in store for us, and we're going to skip ahead to where the game starts, because they're going to do a lot of scene setting in this stream, as you can see. Commentators talking, game starting right now. League of Legends World Championship, guys. It's here, Season 2 Championship. Both teams setting up. IG looking to do some jungle invasion, whereas Frost is in a much more defensive position. I like this by both teams. I feel IG should be looking to get some very early advantages, and Frost should be looking to stop them. They're moving into the Dragon Pit. I wonder if they're going to have Yeah, Jarvan drops the ward and Corki valks over. That is awesome. That's really cool. Jarvan placing a ward and then Corki valking over the edge, using the Fog of War. CloudTemplar has no idea that they're there, and they can flash the wall, they can run around, they can wait until he's on a Wraith, and then get a first blood. This is really cool. I really like that valk into that brush. So yep, they're moving around to set up, and it looks like we have XiaoXiao going to take the lead, as he should, along with Illusion, who can throw down that fear or that Q. Zzitai presumably has a... yeah, he... okay, and they get that, and a first blood goes down for Invictus Gaming on the Vladimir. Really good. Going to set Swain up for a big advantage. Corki also gets the kill, which is perfect for them. Nocturne going to steal the red buff, and this is going to set IG up for a convincing lead in the early game. Already up half a K in gold, leaving the small lizard. I actually don't like leaving the small lizard. Even though it sets Shen behind a little bit, I feel like it's better to have a timer on it, unless you think you're not going to be jungle aggressive at all. But this is a lineup that really wants to be jungle aggressive. Looks like they are doing a lane swap. Corki's heading up top, or it's like Jarvan Leona bot, and I am a big proponent of Jarvan Leona. I really like giving PDD the blue buff there. They can take it very easily between Jarvan and Leona, who do jungle creeps really, really well. But yeah, he's just going to take the blue buff, so one of Jarvan's main problems, of course, is his mana pool, which is very low, and his native mana regen is terrible. But he can use his skills to CS at range. Shy jumping onto Kid there, but Kid valks out before the stun goes off. Actually was a little slow on that valk. I feel like Shy could have stunned him there and gotten an extra 2 auto attacks in, which would have been brutal. That would have set that lane up very well for Shy. But once Leona gets there, things should work out. Zzitai just going to be CSing up. Swain, I think, should be able to beat Vladimir pretty heftily in lane. Swain's a pretty big bully, and as long as you can keep last hitting to keep your mana up, you should be able to throw out constant harassment. A bit of a Nocturne gank coming in here. Looks like Jax might be in trouble if Nocturne can get around behind him. I am a little... okay, so there's a ward there. Jax can see him. And Shy is going to back up. They're seeing him back up, so Illusion is just going to wander away. As I said, yep, Zzitai putting out some damage on RapidStar in mid lane. Just going to take an advantage there. And I like how aggressive they're being top lane. Usually you want to zone for the first 4 minutes or so. Please don't freeze again. Ugh. Okay, usually you want to... I don't know why it keeps freezing. I think Riot servers are being overloaded, like Twitch TV is going down or something. Oh, nice headbutt from Madlife. Gonna get a bunch of damage on PDD there. So yeah, as I was saying, usually you want to zone in a 2v1 lane for the first couple levels, and then first couple minutes, and then transition to a push around 8 minutes or so. You can knock down a turret and then switch back, having gained an advantage from that. And as you can see, I haven't even looked at the CS yet, but Jarvan is very slightly advantaged and will continue to gain advantages, I think, although he is out of potions and Shy still has 2. But he's stuck under his turret where he can CS, and Shy is unable to CS at all. And that blue buff is going to let him pick up more CS. Also able to throw out some harassment there. Going to force Madlife to take a point and heal, which maybe he didn't want to. Pushing in top lane. When the lane starts pushing, it's best to push it really hard. That's just good lane management, because then it'll reset, and you can gain advantages. RapidStar actually able to do a bunch of damage to Zzitai, who is running low on mana. Needs to be auto-attacking those creeps a little more. They push Jarvan back to his turret, but he's going to be able to see us okay. And here we have a ward going down. CloudTemplar getting in position to counter gank when Illusion gets into position. They know they want to dive. Templar is just going to do the wolf camp, which is nearby. Illusion is coming, and they have a ward, so they know Shen's not there. In comes a gank, diving top lane, misses the Q on Nocturne. That's really bad, and Kid's taking damage, and it's going to be a stun on Kid, and that tower shot is going to take him down, and a flash out from Shy. Beautiful play from Shy, and really sloppy play coming in from IG, I think. CloudTemplar also right there was going to maybe pick up a counter kill, but very sloppy from IG, letting the tower aggro go on Corki. They really needed someone else to hit Shy first, and it was that missed Q from Nocturne. It didn't let Nocturne speed up to get the chain, didn't let Nocturne speed up to get the auto attack and take the tower aggro. Forced Corki to take tower aggro, and Shy was able to jump back onto him. So bad mechanics there from IG, just a bit sloppy, a little bit uncoordinated. Nocturne throwing out that Q very early. XiaoXiao actually could be in trouble. They might choose to dive here, but Kid's going to be back in position fairly soon. Swain still fairly convincingly ahead of Vladimir, 8 CS. Going to be able to push him in, but a roam from bottom lane. They pushed up to the turret. Madlife going to flash, headbutt, pulverize, and an ignite and a pool. Going to take down Zzitai very easily, getting RapidStar kill, putting him right back into this lane. He actually ghosted there, which I don't think was necessary. But usually you just want to ensure the kill happens, especially in these very low kill games. They're going to put a lot of damage on mid-turret, push up, and cost Swain CS. Actually, they won't put damage on mid-turret. On the other hand, it is allowing Jarvan to free farm for a bit, whereas Jax has gotten pushed back out of lane by aggressive play from Leona. And even though he sent Leona back, it's still not a big deal because Corki is sitting there free farming. So that gank came at a pretty big expense because IG was free farming 2 lanes while they got that kill mid, and they used 3 or 4 summoners for it. 4 summoners for it: Exhaust, Flash, Ghost, and Ignite. Woong, on the other hand, is doing well. And at least they got the kill onto RapidStar, who's going to get some gold up. He's got his Hex Tech already, so that'll let him sustain Swain's harass fairly well. Going to give Swain or Jarvan this... No, that can't have been intentional. That has to have been... I think that was the passive from the Masteries that gave Nocturne that blue buff, because, yeah... they really wanted that on Swain or on Jarvan, one of the two. Either one would have been much better than having it on Nocturne, I think. And going to take top lane, but an ultimate coming in from Shen there. A good hook from Leona, and they're able to put a bunch of damage on CloudTemplar with that ignite, pushing him off, forcing him to back out, forcing Shy to back out, and that's going to give them top turret. And here comes Illusion. They might get this. Yes, Shen's coming back, so Jax will be able to jump out to Shen. But no, the Nocturne ult goes in, but Shen's feint plus the Jax stun keeps him alive. But Zzitai coming in, flash and a big plays from Swain there, hits the chain, hits the binding, and gets a double kill onto Swain. Could turn onto Vlad here. Really good play from Zzitai. Was able to roam because he pushed out mid lane, forced Vlad to stick under his turret, and they might go for another turret here. Yeah, they're going for it. They're going to have to tank some damage, but I think they'll be able to get this, and that would be a very fast second turret. That'll give them a lot of Baron control. It'll allow them to transition lanes. Jarvan is at 49 CS to Jax's 26, which means that when they swap lanes, Jarvan is going to have a pretty significant advantage, as well as the global gold from those 2 towers. Now, Frost is doing the correct thing. They saw 4 top, so they're going to rush Dragon here. Oh, but they mis-aggroed it. The Dragon's attacking Woong, which is going to slow down their DPS considerably, as opposed to if it was attacking Madlife, because, of course, the attack speed's slow and damage reduction. And he's going to get really low, and I think PDD is going for it. He's going for it, and the dunk comes in, but he's going to go down for that for sure. No, maybe he can get out? No. No, he's done. He's done. But he was able to get the dunk, and he forced another summoner and an ultimate from Vlad. And I believe, yeah, an exhaust from Madlife as well. So really good trade for him. Also, trading 1-for-1 for him is not bad because Leona is going to get back in. They're going to put a lot of pressure mid-turret because there's a death there. Ezreal's down. Ult from Shen doesn't clear the wave, but CloudTemplar's taunt is looking pretty threatening, so they're probably going to be able to just defend this turret as RapidStar gets back in and clears the wave. I've really been wanting to talk a little bit more about the strategies that these teams are using, but this game has been so action-packed, I actually have not had much of a chance to. Jarvan is heading back to the top lane. He's gonna just sweep the lane wave here, but Leona massively out of position, tanks turret aggro, and gets gets pulverized, gets headbutted back into the turret, takes 2 turret shots, and auto attacks from Woong. Slightly misplayed by Frost there because they gave the kill to Madlife instead of Woong. And then a 3-man gank mid because the lanes are all pushed out, so they're all free to roam. Gets them a second kill, putting him up 5-4 and making gold dead even despite 2 towers being down for IG. On the other hand, Jax is not looking so hot for this point in the game. He's sitting at 50 CS, and they really want to keep Jax down. Whereas Jarvan has finished a Brutalizer and can definitely contribute significantly to the game right now. We're seeing, I wish the CS was a little bit better off, a little bit better organized. Oh, Kid can flash after this, get one more auto attack with the Phage proc, and takes down Woong in a 1v1, outplayed, just knocks him down. Woong missed, went in with too little mana and was forced to fight in creeps, which is something Ezreal doesn't always want because he can't land his Qs, and also he took a couple extra hits while CSing, and then the Phage proc just gives Kid a kill. Beautiful 1v1 kill. RapidStar has no flash, so can't get out of the Jarvan ult. His pool will not save him. XiaoXiao tanking the turret, but he'll be fine. He's going to take one more, no, not even one more turret hit, but he'd have been fine. And they should be able to take mid turret off of that, especially with everyone out of position. Ezreal ult coming in. Oh, so disappointing. Living at about 3 health. That would have been sick had that Ezreal ult gotten the kill. Meanwhile, though, Shy is able to get a little bit of free farm top lane, actually already caught up almost completely to Jarvan, who is in mid lane. And this is the thing about early game teams, is if you give the late game carries even a second, they're going to find that farm, because they're not going to miss creeps if they're on their own. And in these lanes that get pushed way out, they're going to have 2 or 3 waves. So finally getting the blue buff actually onto the heroes they wanted it on, IG puts it on Swain. Jarvan able to just farm up under turret. They're going to give Ezreal this blue buff for Frost. Send him back bottom lane, I think, where he's going to have a significant advantage over Corki and Leona. RapidStar and Swain just trading farm. Vlad actually, because of those kills, because of the ganks mid and stuff, picking up CS is now ahead. They're going to go for some damage on this turret, which could be a mistake because there's 3 in the neighborhood, and they don't have great vision. I've noticed that there's not a ton of vision from IG in the enemy jungle. They have this ward here, which is a really good one, and that ward there, but they really want a ward in the tri-brush or a ward like at the red if they're going to be that aggressive. Madlife and Woong are much stronger than Kid and Zhao because of the blue buff on Ezreal, which is just going to let him poke him down. Both sides have a Phage, which means a lot of potential damage coming out. Like if you get out of position against an AD with a Phage, an Ezreal or a Corki, you are just dead. So always worth bearing in mind. Aggressive roaming of the enemy jungle from IG, which I really like this. As I said, they're going to have to win early if they're going to win. And they're coming in on Shy. I don't know, got seen? No, I don't think they saw them. I guess they saw Swain, but I think that was just really good map sense from Shy. Just knowing that they were missing. Woong missing that creep with his Q, kind of cute. So a few mechanical errors from these teams, not perfect mechanics, although that's to be expected. It's their first game of the day, and it is a LAN. Things are very stressful at LANs. But as you can see, a bunch of damage coming out because of that Phage proc. Lets him hit the Q for sure. Zzitai is able to push RapidStar right out of the lane. Always sustain up because he has blue buff. And with that turret down, RapidStar can't go too far out. Zhao and Kid might be looking to make a play, but I don't think they can. They're getting poked down, but Zhao flashes in, and a Nocturne ult, that's going to kill Woong for sure with the exhaust. Already used his blink. They shouldn't dive here. They really shouldn't dive. Illusion tanks one turret hit, but yeah, they back out. Zzitai flashing in. Shen ult is coming in, and he's going to have to back out, but he gets Shen ultimate and Vlad ultimate. And Vlad also used Ghost there to escape, just for Zitai's flash. So really good trade for Swain. Once again, they're tanking on the AD carry, which I just don't like. I don't know why teams do this when they're trying to take the dragon. But a free dragon for IG puts them even on dragons, up a bunch of turrets. They're up, what, 3 turrets? Yeah, 3 turrets. So they have a significant global gold advantage. CS does slightly favor Azubu Frost, though. Especially Ezreal CS, they would have really liked to shut him down a bit more, I think. Even though he's 0-3, he has 3 assists, he has 137 CS. So those 3 deaths have not caught him a ton. Illusion getting ganked, able to spell shield the Jack stun, but gonna have to flash out, and yeah, won't make it out for sure. Gets ignited, gets taken down, giving Ezreal a kill. Really not ideal for them. So if I'm Frost now, I'm actually feeling fairly confident, because even though the gold advantage is in IG's favor, they've come out of this early to mid-game section relatively unscathed. They've lost a couple turrets, and that's going to make it hard for them to control Baron late game. But their hyper carries, their Jackson, their Vlad, are getting the gold that they need, and their Ezreal is doing just fine. CloudTemplar is going to go down to Jarvan there. Big damage coming out from Jarvan. You can't underestimate Jarvan's killing potential. He's so dangerous. And just with his ult and ignite, he didn't even have to flash after that Shen. Shen just ran out of energy, so he wasn't able to escape or throw daggers or feint, and he just went down. Shy and RapidStar coming after Zzitai, but Zzitai should be fine. Shy can't catch him, he just fogs him and wanders off. Item-wise, we're seeing Jarvan going for very early game items. He's got a Hex Drinker and a Brutalizer and a couple of their components. Not sure what he's building there exactly. We've got a Wriggles and Merc Treads on Nocturne and a Heart of Gold and building into a Phage, I suspect. First major item on IG is Rod of Ages finished on Shen. Was finished quite some time ago. He's got Rod of Ages, Sorks, and a Dorn Ring. Pretty strong. Almost at that Triforce for Corki, and Leona sitting at 1 gold per 10 and most of an Aegis. Once that Aegis gets up, that's a pretty significant advantage for them. On Frost, we have not as much of a Triforce on Jax, and not as much of a Triforce on Ezreal either. So sitting at not quite Triforces on both of them. I actually would have liked to see Ezreal go an iEdge build here. But IG just getting into position, knocking down the turret, able to roam the jungle. But because they're 5 bot, they're giving CloudTemplar and RapidStar free reign to go on mid turret. Madlife sort of trying to bait them in, but they ignore him, which is correct, and get to mid lane fast enough to prevent mid turret from going down. CloudTemplar are actually sitting in the Baron pit, and we're just going to have to skip to the next video real quick. Because the way Riot broke this up, it's not by matchup, it's just by every 2 hours. And come on. Come on, stream. Oh, maybe they had an overlapped recording. Oops. My bad. So I'll just have to find the same spot in the recording. Anytime now. Come on, guys. Wow, really? Alright, I'm gonna cut here. Okay, and I'm back. It turns out actually that there was a significant networking problem with the Riot Games stream at this time, which is why it was cut. I was able to find a recording of it that someone took as they were sort of like dashing around. Unfortunately, it's much lower quality than the official stream because it's a recording of a recording. So this is, for those of you who like to keep track of this kind of thing, a recording of a recording of a recording. But we're going to just get back right into the game as Azubu Frost were just transitioning out of mid-turret. I'm just reminding myself because it actually took me about 15 minutes to find the second recording, though you guys are seeing this right away. So, getting right back into it.
And they're still going as 5.
Gonna actually mute the stream. So IG again aggressively roaming the jungle, pushing out towards this Vlad, just pushing him back. CloudTemplar, who was over there, actually just wandered into the Baron pit and based, and it looks like IG might go for a Baron. If I were them, I'd be strongly considering it with Ezreal bottom, but no, they're just gonna back out. With all of their turrets up and with Ezreal bot, I actually think that they should have gone for Baron there. Although Ezreal ultimate can contribute to a Baron fight, I feel they could have very good initiation with Nocturne ultimate and everything. They could have turned onto anyone who showed up and started a fight, just dropped off the Baron. Kid just running straight to bottom lane. He actually ran the really dangerous path all the way down the middle and gonna clear out those creeps. And so, as I was saying, Ezreal has just finished his Trinity Force, so that's really good. And actually, an Aegis is up for Jarvan, not for Leona. So I'm interested to see what Leona's gonna. Yeah, for Jarvan, not for Leona. So I'm interested to see what Leona's gonna build with these Aegis components. Could be a Zeke's Herald. Not sure what else it's gonna be. Nocturne picking up an Oracles and popping it right there. So really good. Always like to see an Oracles. I expect they'll have Alistar get the Oracles because he's 1-0-3 on Frost when they get it. Once again, I apologize for the stream quality. I wish it was a little higher. Big headbutt pull combo coming in onto Jarvan, forcing the flash over the wall, but they did use a CloudTemplar ult. One thing I want to talk about is Shen ult, and you've noticed that CloudTemplar has been using his ult not defensively as a counter-ganking mechanism, but very offensively. He's been ulting onto a teammate in the fog, and then just jumping in for a 2 or 3 man gank, which is always very powerful, and that's how Shen ult I think should be used, and this team is using it very well in high-level play. I just want to make sure that I'm on the right scene real quick. Yes, I am. Okay. I apologize for that, but a little bit of technical difficulties would definitely go amiss here if I was like just doing webcam and not showing you the actual screen. Flashing over the wall after Shy. Jarvan ultimate. He jumps to a creep. Jarvan ultimate canceled out instantly. Very fast reflexes. And Kid able to pick up that kill. Exactly who they wanted it on. Trinity Force now finished on Corki with a chain vest, interestingly. Double Aegis on IG. I really like that decision, actually. It's going to make both Leona and Jarvan very hard to kill. And they don't have a hard tank, but they do have 3 off tanks in Swain, Leona, and Jarvan. And with that kill on Shy, they're going to go for the Baron. Looks like a catch out on Woong. Really good catch. I wish we had seen how that happened, but of course I don't control the camera. Leona probably getting an ult or a hook. Likely, no, actually, didn't use a flash there. Used a flash earlier to go on Shy. Nocturne taking a bunch of damage. And it looks like they're going to have to keep switching off who's tanking this. Nocturne should probably just back out or walk all the way into the Baron pit. RapidStar is going to get a big ult off here. Really big ult. Illusion throwing the chain out but having to dash out before the chain procs. Shen stealing the Baron because Nocturne was zoned. But a triple kill coming out for IG. Beautiful play by Shen, but the triple kill probably makes it worth it unless, oh, the Ezreal once again leaving someone at 4 health. Shy getting hooked by Xiao, who's just suiciding, giving himself up for the team. Won't make it out there for sure. So, fantastic turnaround from Azubu Frost on that Baron play. I'm really interested to see that chain vest on Corki. He must be going just straight for GA. And actually, yeah, you can see there he's picked up a null magic mantle. And here's where the stream cut out completely, so we're just going to wait for it to come right back up. And we skipped ahead slightly, but shouldn't be that bad. Actually, the quality on this section is a lot better, so I'm pretty happy with that. This is, I think whoever recorded this had to switch to the own TV stream. Anyways, purple picks up the dragon, or red actually, because I don't know why it's red, but it just is. Swain picking up a blue buff, always good. 4-1 on Jarvan, and 4-2 on Swain, and 4-1 on Corki. So all the heroes on IG who want kills are getting them. I don't know about that straight into GA after Triforce on Corki though, because that's going to decrease their damage a lot. And I feel like they just want that damage so that they can push in and win. Now, in the Dota scene, all of the Asian teams, and IG, for example, has a very strong Dota team as well. All the Asian teams really like tanking items, but I haven't heard that that's the case in League of Legends. One thing that's really interesting to me about this tournament is teams like World Elite playing in it, who we haven't seen play yet, but those are teams from sponsors that have an incredibly long history, longer even than a lot of the European sponsors. World Elite were incredibly dominant in the Warcraft 3 scene, if any of you remember that. For like years they had all the best players. So I'm interested to see if that legacy of very strong sponsors can translate into a very strong Chinese, Korean, and Southeast Asian scene in this League of Legends tournament. And so far these teams have been playing very well. There have been a couple mechanical errors, but I really like the aggressive playstyle, and I don't know if the European teams are European and North American teams are set up to deal with this very aggressive play. Big flash in from MadStar. Swain's gonna go down. Ezreal ult hits point blank, hits everyone. Illusion getting a chain out. Leona going down, and that is a game-winning fight. I don't know if IG can come back from that, because the incredible late-game power of the other team. They have Baron. They have just won a big fight. They're going to get an inhibitor turret. They're going to get an inhibitor here, and that's going to put IG decidedly on the back foot as Azubu Frost transition into the late game where their heroes shine. This needed to happen exactly the other way at this point. Like right at that minute was where IG needed to win a big fight and take an inhibitor, win a big fight and take a Baron, and they just failed to do both of those things. Very good smites by CloudTemplar and very good play from Frost zoning Nocturne, getting him low. A little bit sloppy from IG, letting him get low to the Baron, which allowed him to be zoned so he couldn't get the smite off on the Baron. On the other hand, Corki is still very strong, finished his Guardian Angel. Jarvan very strong, looking to build into a Triforce probably, after his Brutalizer, Aegis, Hexdrinker. Swain gonna get up a Abyssal Scepter, it looks like. So they have the items, they can still come back. Actually, triple Aegis on IG. I am not sure about triple Aegis. Double Aegis, the auras overlap, but the auras don't overlap on triple Aegis. Like you don't get 3 auras. At least I don't believe so. I could be wrong about the mechanics there. Let's see if MadStar can kill that ward before it dies. He can. Gets the 25 gold. Or Madlife, sorry. MadStar. I'm mixing up 2 players. That's okay. But yeah, Ezreal does a lot more damage than Corki with that last Whisper, which is going to help him punch through the aura from that Aegis. Well, man, and here we're getting a replay, unfortunately, of this fight. It is a pretty sick fight, but I would rather just go right into the actual game here. I apologize for the quality interruptions and the technical difficulties, but of course with live streams these things happen. So they threw in a replay, but we're going to get back into the game while Shy is running around
hunting top lane. Hopefully for future games at this World Championship Series, we have uninterrupted streams so I can do commentaries that don't have these problems. I'm especially hoping for the North American and European teams that I know a little bit more about and that, frankly, I'm rooting for in the World Championships, that we get a really good, high-quality stream so that I can do all the commentaries. Now, Woong getting caught out, but an ult from CloudTemplar, ult from Nocturne. Where's the Leona ult? Where's the Leona ult? Leona ult was cast, but it didn't hit anything. But this is a really good fight for IG, and they're going to take it, and they're going to be able to pick up Shy there. I really like how Kid is off hunting down Madlife instead of chasing down Shy, who's already dead. Zzitai placing that binding a little bit too far up. If he placed it a little further down, CloudTemplar would not have been able to dodge it, and he'd have been able to pick him up there. Baron up in 24 seconds, and Dragon up in 30. So IG might be able to push out their, if they can push out their mid lane, get that inhibitor clear for when the inhibitor comes back up. We don't have a timer for when the inhibitor spawns, unfortunately. That's one thing I would like to see in spectator mode, but it should be within a couple minutes the inhibitor will spawn again. Then they might be able to make a play for this Baron. Baron just spawned, and both teams have perfect timers on it, or should. Yeah, both teams should, because they were both standing in the pit when it was smite stolen. Looks like they did not want to rush the Baron. They're just going to push out lanes, take buffs. Kid roaming around, getting seen by that ward. One thing I want to talk about is the ward coverage. You can see that IG really feel they're on the back foot because all their wards are in their own jungle. They have a ward there, they have a ward in the center lane, which is a very defensive ward. They have a ward there, they have a ward there, covering all their entrances, covering their buffs, covering the very defensive positioning around their turrets. Whereas Frost, conversely, has wards at the Baron, they have wards at the enemy buffs, they had a ward there in the brush there where it covers the transition. CloudTemplar just soloing the Dragon, I really like this, while everyone sets up around the Baron. Obviously this is something you can do with Shen, who's excellent at split pushing. He doesn't have excellent split pushing items, he does have a Wriggles, but he doesn't have anything like a Wit's End or a Ionic Spark that would let him just like really wave clear. But he is getting quite tanky, has an Aegis. They also have a Shurelya's, which the triple Aegis buy has prevented IG from getting a Shurelya's, which is giving them a significant initiation disadvantage. I really don't like that triple Aegis. I feel like that must have been a miscommunication. I feel like there have been a couple significant just sort of sloppy errors on IG, like giving the blue buff to the wrong person, getting 3 Aegises, making a couple misidentifications of build. I really don't think Corki needed to go GA directly after Triforce. Pink ward's actually coming out from Frost. They don't have an Oracles, but they're pink warding the Dragon. Oh, no, they don't have an Oracles. Leona has the Oracles. I feel like they should get an Oracles rather than a pink ward, but if you don't have the money, then a pink ward will do in a pinch, especially when there's only one spot that's really important to ward clear at. Shen, of course, counter pushing. Nocturne can split pushing. Nocturne can sort of counter that, and then they're just going to pressure Baron. Shen is going to ult in onto Madlife, using the Shen ult to tank it, because they know he wants to be there, so they don't need to use the Shen ult. They have perfect positioning and excellent vision, so they're just sneaking the Baron while the side lanes are pushed, and IG can't respond to that at all. They pick up a sweet Baron there, and this is where and Oracles would be great because they could clear out those wards, although they don't really need to. With this Baron buff, they're just going to head straight down mid lane and take this inhibitor. And I don't know that there's much IG can do to stop them. Their items are a little bad, and their team fight positioning is going to be tough. They have no turret to defend. Leona taking a bunch of damage, getting burst down. And Woong going down, though. Really nice Nocturne ult, locking, but the Jarvan ult locks Vlad in with Nocturne. Vlad is just able to take everyone out. But IG is able to turn this around considerably. CloudTemplar living through this, but just getting ignored because he doesn't have the damage to do anything. And flashing after Madstar, to take him down. I actually don't know about that flash, but it does get Baron off of another person, but it might be that the flash was not worth the kill on the Alistar. They have to hack through 2 turrets, but they probably can with only CloudTemplar up with 22 seconds left on Ezreal. Really excellent catch there by Illusion. Able to pick up the Ezreal kill. CloudTemplar going to take a bunch of poke from Jarvan, but he's actually just distracting them from the turret. I don't think they can kill him here. He's too tanky with his Randuin's Giant's Belt, Aegis, no magic, or Negatron. He's just going to be nigh impossible to kill. I like how they use their blinks to get out into the Baron pit. Ezreal just ulting top wave to clear it. I like that decision. Ezreal ult is not super valuable, although if they were going to send Vlad up there already, then probably that was a waste. And Shen just going to keep split pushing bottom lane. Again, I like this decision. They're Frost making really good plays here because they just want to keep pressure away on the side lanes. Even though Baron's down, it's important to keep pressure on the side lanes, especially bot. And if they can push in, ideally what they'll do is they will push bot lane almost up, then they'll push mid lane in all the way to the inhibitor, and then back out and just snag this turret while their Baron buff lasts. And then they can do exactly the same thing, put pressure here, force everyone to back up to here, and then just swing in this way and take top turret. So, if they keep the side lanes pushing, they'll be able to do that very easily. And just pick off a couple free turrets. 21 kills for IG to 13 for Azubu Frost. And some guy's Gmail popping up, whoever recorded this. I'd like to thank the guy who recorded this and put it on YouTube. You have made my life a lot easier. Much easier than the broken Riot stream did. But even though it's 21 to 13, there's actually a slight gold lead for Frost. And notice that the gold is getting very high into this game. This is actually a fairly low CS game for a pro game, but it is an incredibly high kills game. We've seen a ton of kills going down for both teams. And when I thought IG was dead, like I was ready to GG it out there, they were able to come back with that really beautiful team fight. Woong just getting caught out. Maybe he should have had a GA. If he'd had a GA like Corki, he'd have lived. But now Corki and Ezreal have identical items. I suspect they're going to both go for a Quicksilver Sash, and then probably turn that Vamp Scepter into a Bloodthirster. Neither of them going Phantom Dancer because they have the attack speed from the Eternity Force. And we'll see which AD carry is stronger. 43 CS lead for Ezreal, but 8-1 on Corki in terms of kills. Should be able to pick up that Banshee Veil or Quicksilver Sash, probably Quicksilver Sash, very quickly. Both teams jockeying for position. It's at the point in the game where it is devastating if you make a mistake, and Xiao just did that. He's out of position, doesn't have his oracles currently, but here we go. Xiao flashing out, Nocturne ult comes in to support. Trading Leona for Vlad is huge for IG. Like they really want that, but Shy is just unstoppable. Even though Vlad went down, Shy is just clobbering everyone. Takes out Swain, they take out Nocturne, and Woong soloing Corki over there with a little bit of help from Madlife. Madlife actually transitioning off once they see that Woong is going to win that fight. Kid's GA comes back up, and Woong just takes him down without even having to use the GA. 3 people left standing, including their oracles. Despite Vlad going down instantly in that fight. And that's just the power of Jax. That's the late game power of Ezreal out-carrying Corki. And here's where we're going to call it, I think. Azubu Frost taking the inhibitor. They're going to be able to take at least one Nexus turret, probably both, in the time that they have left. 10 seconds until Swain gets back up. Leona doing her best to delay. Okay, so they're just going to settle for one Nexus turret. Woong could maybe go deep and try to kill Leona, but that's bait. And he's not going to do it. He will use his ult to clear creeps. Keep the wave pushing. Dragon's up. Baron is still a ways off, probably another minute and a half or so.
That's going to get Ezreal a huge item, probably. He might just straight up buy Bloodthirster, which will make him really hard to kill here. We don't have his gold exactly, but he's going to go solo dragon. I like that decision. Good decision making late game by Azubu Frost. I don't know about all of the decisions they made early game, but late game they've just been doing everything right. They've been pressuring side lanes, they've been transitioning properly, they've been forcing good fights, and they just got that pick on Leona. With Leona flash down, they actually it's only one summoner down, and one thing that pro teams will do, of course, is watch summoners and time them. So it's only one. They have flash and exhaust down on Leona, ignite, and ignite down on. And here we get another instant replay. I actually will commentate on this. So the setup here is that Woong has gotten the Phage proc on Xiao. They had a combo for Madlife as they come in from on top. Shy is going to auto-attack, and RapidStar is getting a little bit caught out because someone's coming from above him. We're seeing a Leona ult go straight down on Woong, and it's going to hit RapidStar as well. So a really nicely placed Leona ult. I'm going to force a blink from Ezreal, probably. We see Swain coming in first. He's going to put a chain on RapidStar, who's then going to be hit by Leona ult. So nicely overlapped CC there, forcing him to take at least one of those, probably both. If he backs up, he's going to get taken down by the incoming Jarvan. I'm just going to advance this frame by frame here. Woong barely dodging the Leona ult, but RapidStar getting hit both by the Swain chain and by the Leona ult, as Leona takes a bunch of damage from Shy and Madlife. Madlife is actually out of position here, should not have committed so hard to going on Xiao, should have backed up and zoned for RapidStar. Might have been able to entice them to go on him, or just body block, maybe heal, do a little bit of trample damage. Shy can easily kill Xiao here, and of course Xiao still has flash. So that's actually a headbutt back in from Madlife in an attempt to get on top of Zzitai and PDD, who have just entered the fight. A Nocturne ult just came in, so Woong actually can't see anyone right now because of that Nocturne ult. And actually, Nocturne ulting onto him might be a mistake, because the blind might be more effective. If Nocturne ulted onto Shy, for example, he could maybe fear Shy, although that would put him in range of Ezreal. So he's going to ult onto Woong, but he's just going to be stuck 1v1ing Woong here. RapidStar ults everybody and pools, but his health is just vanishing, and the ignite finishes him off in his pool. Xiao is super dead here, but Illusion is fighting Woong 1v1, and Shy is able to get onto PDD, which is exactly, onto Zzitai, which is exactly where he wants to be. The Ezreal ult actually coming through and hitting everybody. Shy finishing off Leona, and see that Corki is quite late to this fight, even though Woong hasn't been doing a ton in this fight because he was a little zoned by Illusion. He's been able to get Illusion down to about half, and he's been poking, and he got a lot of damage on Xiao, whereas Corki is out of position, and this is because the fight happened with Leona getting caught, started with Leona getting caught. So we see Corki is out of position, cut off from his team. Zzitai has taken a bunch of damage and is forced to back up. Shy is just going to be able to follow up with a jump onto him. Jarvan attempts to lock him down, but actually locked Zzitai in with Shy, which is exactly what they didn't want. Madlife just headbutting Kid away to keep his damage down even further, while Woong gets free auto attacks off on Illusion. And then they turn onto Kid. Madlife and Woong just beating the crap out of Kid, while Shy finishes off Nocturne, and then the instant replay ends. Little bit of quality issues here, of course, but it should clear up, hopefully. But what happened in the rest of that fight is Shy just picked off Nocturne and then jumped back in onto PDD, who alone can't do anything. He's too tanky to have enough damage to clear everyone out. And of course, as you saw, Woong and Madstar with the Madlife. I keep saying Madstar, and I don't even know why. I'm thinking of someone else, but I can't remember who. We're able to take down Kid. More Baron positioning, but Shen is over at the turret,
They're just going to go straight onto the Baron. I expect that Shen's going to take this turret and then ult in, and then they're going to have Shen and Shy initiate, while Illusion tanks the Baron. Illusion is not tanky enough to take Baron aggro too well. Illusion ulting in, but getting headbutt out of his ult by Madlife. That was beautiful. I'm going to pause this real quick, and we'll talk about this fight positioning again. They wanted to initiate before Shen got in, but Shen ultimate has come in. The turret has not yet gone down. Everyone was hit by the Vlad ult, which means that Zzitai, stuck in the middle of everything, is going to take a lot of damage. Both Zzitai and Corki got stuck in the middle of everything. Zzitai again locked in next to Vlad and Shen by Jarvan ult, so really poorly misused Jarvan ults. Also, a lot of focus going out onto the Alistar there. Now, they did put a lot of damage on Vlad, which is a lot better. CloudTemplar missing the taunt over the wall, but just going to flash over or chase him down. While Ezreal goes and takes probably a Nexus turret and finishes the game. They chase down for that ace. Probably didn't have to. Ezreal's just going to walk in. Turret gets finished, and Ezreal is just going to auto-attack the Nexus right down. 24 seconds left before anyone spawns, and he can just do this in peace. He could do a dance for the rub-ins, but doesn't have to. And there's the explosion. So, beautifully executed late game plays by Azubu Frost there. They picked a lineup that pretty much can't lose late game, especially because IG kept locking Jarvan in to the ultimate. IG kept using Jarvan ultimate to lock their squishy heroes in with the enemy Jax and Vlad was able to put out consistent damage, and so was Jax, and the consistent damage from Swain was not enough to overcome Vlad and Jax's late game power. So really well played, well picked by Azubu Frost. As I said at the beginning, I thought they had a slight advantage, but IG made a pretty good attempt in the early game. They did a lot of things right, but they had a couple sloppy moments. Like, for example, had the blue buff been on Swain in the mid-game, he'd have had a much larger advantage over Vlad. Had Leona not gotten caught out like 3 or 4 times, they wouldn't have lost oracles, they wouldn't have lost bottom lane, they wouldn't have given Ezreal as much farm as he got. Had they not aggroed the turret onto Corki in that level 1 dive, Shy would have been a lot further behind than he was. Without that kill, he wouldn't have been able to CS there, he wouldn't have gotten as much gold, and things might not have snowballed out of hand. So it's the little things that cost you. They also had a couple things about vision. I feel like they did not have enough vision around their bottom lane, which let Leona get caught out a few times. But all in all, that was a spectacular opening game to the World Championships, and I'm really excited to see the rest of this. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Actually, we'll do it this way. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I am super excited to cast the next World Championship. Please, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to comment on it, rate it, subscribe to my channel. All of those things help me out, and they let me bring you more awesome content. Also, if you haven't heard, I have started live streaming on twitch.tv/Ataran. Come check it out. You're missing some awesome games if you aren't. I have already put a bunch of recorded content up there, and I might be going live again later tonight, although I realize I'm competing with the World Championships if I do that, which is silly, and I probably won't. So anyways, I appreciate you watching it. I hope you enjoyed the game. I did. It was epic, and let's hope they're all like this. Cheers, folks, and GG.